scuttlebutt, good stuff coming up, hopefully in the future for all of us on the platform. We'll talk a little bit about that, a little bit about live streaming. We're going to have some tips for you today on Buttle Scott. I don't know if that's would you check that word out, JS, and see if it really exists out there? If not, we can coin it for you today. We'll get one for you today. So we're going to talk about live streaming, community, building all of that stuff as we always do here. Invite people into the room. Welcome everybody who's here already. Bob is in the room. Sub Bob, as we know him. We don't let him near the controls at all anymore. We heard he set off some nuclear devices. We weren't sure if they were armed or not when he had his time under the water. So I think the pressure got to him. So we're going to talk to him though at 1:30. We will let him in under limited controls and keep him helping us out in terms of some new stuff he showed me today. Don't roll on the floor. That's dangerous. Mr. Himmelblau, if you are here, you can certainly join us in the seat. If you'd love to do that, we'd love to have you in on the blab. And Mary Tyler Moore is here. Hi, Mary. It's just Mary Tyler. Maybe that's a good thing. Welcome, Luke, and everybody else who's joined us. Frank is in the room. Frank Clark, the illustrious Frank. I just called you a piece of meat, Frank. Oh, my gosh. And we got 2 Lukes in the room. Very good. Thank you for counting, Mr. Luke. Sid has joined us with a new video card. Hopefully that's working well for him. He just installed it today. So much going on in the community. We're here to help each other out. And I guess Himmelblau's not coming tonight. I don't know. I did see him driving. I did see him pop in. And I guess he's going to test our patience today. But we'll let him do that. In the meantime, like I said, we're going to have Sub Bob come in about 1:30, maybe a little earlier, for us to talk about the Messenger stuff, how to use Messenger more effectively. There's new tips and tricks going on right now as Facebook is doing things jerky goodness. Oh, dear. I don't know what's going on there. Here comes Mr. Himmelblau now. It's never the same. What is this? The dark side of the moon? What's going on over there?
Lighting issue.
A lighting issue. Here's a guy, Bruce Himmelblau, the man about town in the video department. He works and does jobs for the likes of some of the biggest social media people in the world, and he can't get a light on his face. Oh, what a ringing endorsement I just laid out for you there. Wait a minute. I think he's going to go get a flashlight probably. Oh dear. That's much better.
More dramatic.
We got the hallelujah. Thank you. You could turn that up a little bit in the background there. There you go. Perfectly done. And so what, Bruce, fill us in on the lack of fill light here. Since you know the technical term, right?
Okay, this is a backlight.
Yep. Oh, that's the fill light. Okay, and, so lack of other lighting, like straight on. Now what are you doing? It is why we keep them around for entertainment. It'd be boring if it was just me talking about stuff that people could use and have no entertainment value here. Jesus Christ. Oh, dear. Phil's light. That's right. I think that's right. Philip, I think is the guy's name that provides that light. Not Phillips, because that would probably work. Hello there, WGP7110. Welcome to the Blab, and anybody else who's popped in since we got going. Okay, let's see, submit now.
So whenever they're and talk to Phil.
Okay, so I think J.S. Gilbert has it correct, and it basically is like Mona Lisa kind of thing going on here. So that's okay. Your voice is coming through. We don't really need to see all of your face because we get the essence of you all the time. And yes, we have Tell a Little Bird. We actually have shared the last 30 seconds up, Joe. So we're going to ask people, I guess, to share that. And if you're a host over here, you can actually notify people. You can do a /notify, but you have to be a host to do that. So don't believe anybody if they tell you otherwise. And that will go out to your followers here on wonderful Blab platform. So what's happening? You were teaching YouTube, or have you brought anybody over from your class today? Do you know if they've survived your class? What did they learn? This is Bruce. I'm speaking with Bruce.
They learned what was available in the live streaming and video platforms. So we talked about YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat.
So this wasn't just about YouTube. Instagram, this was like live streaming download for these people. Now, were these people in a rest home or assisted living? Where did you go? Who were these people? I got a laugh out of him. He's breathing.
No, actually, it's a small town. Yeah, it's a small town just north of Highland Park.
And just a town of old people that want to learn social media, or I don't know this. I'm trying to probe here.
No, actually,
what is it?
The town kind of grew up out of the Navy base. Fort Sheridan.
Fort Leavenworth
used to be there, owned by the government. Yeah, so Fort Sheridan is now a community, which they sold off most of the land there and built some condos there, turned some of the barracks into homes. And so then, so the class was local business people.
Okay. And how did you promote this? This is interesting because people may want to do this. How did you promote it? Was there other people involved that got you up there, or did they just find you under a rock somewhere at Woodstock when you were there? Or what? How did they find you?
Yeah, it was mostly the rock. Yeah, it was mostly rocks.
Into the pond, and the ripples cross-correlated, and then people found you that way.
Yeah. Yeah, Facebook, posting on Facebook.
He has something. It's the Himmelblau signal. It's a big H that goes up into the sky and reflects down on the Fort Leavenworth people. I know I'm getting that wrong, of course. All right. So anyway, what happened when you? What was the average age of the people in the room?
So
because you're an old geezer like me, and what?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Average age.
And so they had nothing else to do. The 40s. Bingo, they lost their bingo routine for the night, so they figured they'd come hang out with you. So you taught them the basics. What's out there, right?
Well,
And
we
a little
them, drinks
like
and,
finger food or something
afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I
gave them dessert, or you deserted
back here and do the show. So I said, thank you all for coming. I have a show to do. You're welcome to come over to my house and be on the show. And they all said, well, drinks sound better.
Thank you. Get the drinks out. So that, all right, well, that sounds cool. Did you have any handouts like trinkets or anything? Like we can show you how to light your face properly on camera. Come watch the show. I hope not.
No, I did have our slide up there at the end. Say, come join the show. We're live every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
Nah, they're Pacific. They're all working still. They don't get home.
We're Central Time anyway. So
this is the last thing we want people to do is eat dinner while they're looking at you and I. Probably not make it all the way down the route it's supposed to take to get to the stomach. So we don't want that. So, well, that's great. I mean, this is it's good you get out once in a while, and besides filming other people, did you film this event? Are you trying to be like creepy or something with the light under your chin?
Of course, I'm not sure. And then we actually streamed it live on Facebook Live. So if you go to my
Blair Witch, okay, yeah, that's what I was going for.
Blair Witch.
What? All right, JS. Let me see, JS. What are we're gonna? I thought I gave you host powers. I did not. I think I know better. Okay, so he's going to notify. If anybody else would like to notify, we'd love to have the room double in size. JS, we can't hear you. She's got to turn that tube mic on.
Okay, so there it is. Do I want to share?
Ladies and gentlemen, JS Gilbert.
My followers, yes, tell them and then I've shared my stream. Hopefully, they'll come in here in a minute or two.
Sounds horrible.
And then, I'll just leave the seat open now, and I'm here.
Yeah. No, if I make you a host, by the way, everybody doesn't have to come in, just so they know. Thank you for coming in, JS. Always a pleasure to see you. And he was invited to be here with us tonight. And it's always great to have him. For those of you who don't know JS, he is a voice actor of many years and much high esteem in that realm. No, the notified. Whoa, what's that echo? Joe, where's that coming from? Whoa, Joe. All right. So Frank Clark, you can /notify.
All right. So Frank Clark, you
Gilbert.
can
Yes, that's where the Gilberting thing originally came from.
Gilbert.
Let's see where that noise is coming from.
Gilbert.
It has to be. Do you have another blab on Mr. Himmelblau?
Has to be. Have another.
Test 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I didn't think it was you, Joe. So I think he's trying to do dual streaming. So thank you for sharing. So he did the notify. Great. Thank you for that. Anybody else would like to notify their blab following? That would be great. We're already cranking up. We got 3 more people. Welcome everybody into the room. Looks like Melissa's joined us along with some other good folks here from all over the world. We've got SEO design people from across the pond, it appears to be. So let's fill their brains up with something besides chatter. And what's going on now, Bruce? It's always an adventure here, Joe. Do we have any more sound effects? Because there's got to be some that are appropriate for
2 seconds.
That would be it. I think that was the Jaws theme, of course. Bruce is switching to something with more light. Now, how did that happen?
I don't know. It has to be a setting on my laptop.
Wow. It's like the dark side of the Bruce. Now, this is very bright. Now you're hurting our eyes.
Okay, I'll shut it. I'll shut that fill off.
All right. No more fill light. Okay. Toronto, Canada, Nelson. Thank you for joining us. Okay. So while he's adjusting lights again, this is why we have a
I sent Phil's go get dinner.
There's the old Windows theme. I think that was 95, if I'm not mistaken, Joe. We need that logo to fly over. Let's get down to some business.
So how's your week?
The week was great. I went to see my sister. We had her friend of 35 years actually passed on Sunday morning. It was very sad, but her family was there, my sister's family, so with her son and their 3 grandkids. So that was great to have them there during that time. And it's always good to have family around when someone close goes to the other side. So aside from that, I got a wicked headache. I think it's because I ate too many ribs, barbecue sauce or something. Or maybe it was that oatmeal stout I had and lack of coffee in the morning. But trip back, everything was good back in Boston area again, as a lot of you guys know. Thank you for joining the show. For you guys who are new to the show, that's Bruce Himmelblau down there. I'm Cliff Bodenweiser up here, and of course the Und is right between us. It's that little spot right there, right? That's the Und. And Joe is in the background. Joseph Burke, he may pop his head in here once in a while. Yep, there he is. He's got the peace sign up and giving us his love as well. Thank you, Joe, for being here for us today. And we appreciate you guys being here more than anything, because otherwise we'd be talking to ourselves and it would be a private thing and, all that. So we've got private blabs going on. We've got adult blabs going on in the background. If you guys want to talk about that later, we'll do that in the after show. But here we want to share with you what's been going on around blab and social media. So the first thing, Bruce, since you've asked what's going on, we identified yesterday in that Colin has in his house one very illustrious blabber, and that would be a lady of French descent who actually hails now from Canada. And there she is. They were drinking libations. There was talk of other kinds of things happening before this, and they were trying to cook pasta in a sauce. And Q there is off to the other corner from them. And that's, of course, me and Anna Roundsville. We were just hanging out and watching them attempt to not explode Colin's house in first. So what the funny part was, there's a lot of funny things going on here. Number one, somebody's in Colin's house besides Colin. That's pretty funny. I wish you were here. And of course, it's Lola. That's a riot because they are very strong personalities, and I think they are made like perfectly for each other. I think this is something that's made in Blab heaven. And any sound effects for any of that, Joe?
So did you meet her on Blab? How do you meet her?
Yeah. Oh. That was very inappropriate and appropriate at the same time. We'll talk about that in the after show. So anyway, they were drinking a number of things of alcohol content being higher than 10% in it. And in the meantime, Lola, while stating to him, and this is worth quoting, and I think it's written down in a book somewhere now, Anna does take notes once in a while, that she enjoys gas stoves. Okay, this was the quote that came from Colin, and then yet she turned the gas stove on, yet did not allow for the little ticky-tacky piezoelectric fire starter arc to start. So filled up the house, not fully, but kind of put gas into Colin's house. And you know, Colin, he has gas, he gets upset, and when he has gas filling his house up, he gets a little more upset than that. So this was quite entertaining. We actually did record a piece of this for you people, and we will share that in the after show too. So there's a great reason to be there. We've got like a 3-minute clip of this escapade going on. And so Q was in the room, and many of you know Q. She's a Le Cordon Bleu trained chef, and so he's kind of asking her for a recipe. So there's kind of fun stuff happening there. So we got this screenshot. Someone grabbed it and threw it up on Twitter, so I thought I would share it with you guys tonight. Interesting things happening. What else have we got going on? Oh, let's see. Let me look at my. Oh, also we had an interesting blab later, I think in the evening, with Joe himself going part Blue Man Group. That is actually the Blue Man Group blue paint, so we don't mess around, right, Joe? And I think we have an OG by the name of Allie something or another.
Didn't Joe work on Blue Man Group?
Yes. So that's where he stole a pot of the blue paint. He didn't. He got to give it to him. He doesn't steal anything. There's me, of course, half in the bag. Not really. I don't drink very often, and I'm just happen to be blinking in the moment. Of course, Lindsay Badger's there, Lieutenant Badges, as we know her. She's taking notes and triple blabbing as usual. Allie, however, has put on a special face for Blab last night, and her special kind of voice. And I again, we'll discuss that, what that really was. It was very funny, and it was quite, it's kind of making fun of some Blab people. And it was very, very, very well done and very funny. So you can see she was obviously in quite the form last night. So,
and just for the record, I do not steal from Blue Man Group.
I told him that. I said, he didn't. He borrowed.
I just asked him if he worked for Blue Man. You were the one who brought stealing.
Yes. We have it on video, but he was given that paint. He doesn't steal anything. That's what I said. I said in general. I said he doesn't steal anything. I covered you completely. He has people knocking on his garage door at 2 a.m. though sometimes. So we have people around trying to steal stuff from Joe, but that's because he lives in Florida. It's warm all the time. People are out. So it's great about up here in New England. It's too cold usually for people to steal anything. So that was fun last night. What is going on aside from that in live streaming, Bruce? Anything from you? You were at the show last week. We were betrothed.
We live streamed from NAB.
From NAB, and you were in the meet group or something, right?
Yeah, it's called Super
Meet. Okay.
And
so we had some good feedback. I don't know if you got that. We had people were raving about your interviewing prowess and just exposing us to this since we were not lucky enough to go.
Well, I think that's really my forte. Is I'll ask 2 or 3 or say 3 words in a question form, and then the other person who's I'm interacting with will take off for 4 or 5 minutes. I say,
You'll take a nap.
Take out another 4 or 5 minutes. So
okay.
That's why this show works so well. Is all you have to do is say, "So Cliff, and then 10 minutes later I can say,
Okay, I got it.
But yeah, the interviews were great. Some of the clients there were great. We talked to somebody on the floor who wasn't in that portion called Mevo, and that is the camera that's designed for Facebook Live. So we have that coming up on YouTube this week.
Okay, what makes it designed for Facebook Live? What is it that
they have actually partnered with Facebook with the API, so you can stream live with this camera as opposed to using your phone.
Okay, Joe, you want to dig up, what is it, Mevo?
MEVO.
MEVO.
Yeah, they're owned by a company called Livestream. And they went with the brand of Mevo because Livestream is more of an enterprise platform, a lot higher end. And Mevo is more the buy the camera, stream for free. Okay.
And Michael, what do you want to repurpose that information? I don't understand it. It seems like it's like not clear to me what's going on with Sean or whatever. Well, that's cool. There it is. That's it. And so it's
the camera shoots like 140-degree angle in 4K, but that only delivers a high def image. So you can do virtual pans and zooms and cuts within the camera live.
Cool. So I think what we did was we actually put together the 3 words that Bruce uses. Actually, he's got more than that.
Who, what, where, when, why, how.
And that's basically his whole set of words. He picks from those.
And basically, I use basically a lot.
Just stays within those question phrases, like so, who, when, what, how, all that stuff. So it's great technique. So Sean tweeted something out. Since we're in lab, we might as well figure out what that was. 39.90. Check out the blah, blah, talk show. So what does that mean? All right. So something got tweeted. So we'll figure that out later. In the after show, we're going to have like an after show, more content than the show itself, but that's okay because that keeps people going on Blab, the West Coasters. So 3D, well, that's cool. It's good stuff. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, I saw something cool in 3D out there. You heard of Ang Lee? Ang Lee directed the movie Brokeback Mountain.
Yes.
He's working on a new movie.
Quite a cinematographer, that guy.
Yep. He's working on a new movie. He's shooting it in 4K, 3D, at 120 frames per second.
That's a lot of pixels.
Yeah. And there's only one projection system in the world that can project it, and it was there at NAB.
Oh, so we got to see some of it, or you got to see it?
They took everybody's phone. There was no recording device allowed in the room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you actually had to check your phone and anything that recorded before you can enter the room. And then we also signed NDAs, so we couldn't tell you what the content of the movie, but we can talk about the feeling and some of the information that we kind of got. But we can't ruin the gist of the movie. It was a very dramatic movie. And it's like you're there because it's in 3D at 120 frames. So super crisp.
Yeah. It's probably better than if you were there, because if you were there, it would be foggy, or you get something in your eye, you get a bug, and then, you got mosquitoes. So it's better than being there live. This is where we're going, folks, with the future. We will never have to leave our chairs. I'm actually sitting today, and I've got blabitis where my legs blow up, and so I've ordered a little elliptical trainer that goes underneath my desk. I'm serious, and I may even have that for you in the after show. I hope somebody's taking notes of all the stuff we're going to do an hour from now. It's going to be chock full of information and entertainment. Again, you guys are just going to be overflowing with stuff. So we got an API, Facebook. Thank you for sharing, Bob, and I'm sure you'll discuss that very shortly. We're going to have Sub Bob come on, and we're not going to talk about submarines or missiles or anything like that. We're actually going to share some tips that he came up with and shared with me earlier today. I said, well, save it for the show. And that way we can talk about it with other people watching and learn at the same time on Facebook Messenger. And he's got some cool tips on that'll let it go live without being in the app and so on and so forth. And then, some other, a Google Doc little shortcut thing it's going to show us. It's going to save me time, and anybody who does any show notes or any kind of Google Doc notes that you do over and over, he'll show us how to do a little add-on there that will make it easier for you to kind of fill things in automatically. So that's cool stuff coming up in a few minutes. A couple of things.
Yeah, my Google use of Google Docs tripled, or actually went tenfold once I started working with you. Because before I just posted one thing a year, pretty much.
Well, I'm glad we're doing something for someone somewhere in the world, Bruce, and I'm honored to do it with you and for you in this case, that we've injected you into the world of Google Docs. So we're going to do that shortly. We're also going to talk after Bob exits the blab with us. We're going to talk about safety on the internet and a little bit more about what's been going on. As you may or may not know, my business for the last 12 plus years has been keeping people safe and secure on the internet, and that's keeping them in their digital world in check, if you will, so they feel much more comfortable with what they're doing, and the dang things are working right and efficiently and effectively, and they're staying, their kids and their small businesses in general are staying as safe as possible. But there's things going on right now that are taking some of the smartest people. Lieutenant Badges is in the house. The smartest people I know, I've got over 650 clients, and of those, they're getting hoodwinked by this fear-based calls coming to them, stuff popping up on their screen. Call us right now, give us your money, and all of that. And half the time they give them some money. A lot of the time they certainly stay on the phone with them because they believe they are working for Microsoft, because they kind of say that in a way. And then the latest guy, and I'll share that story with you in about 20 minutes or so, about what actually happened. And I had to get on the phone with one of these jokers, and they had actually put a lock on the machine, one of my clients, and I had to call them up and ruse them, reversing the tables and pretend to be your husband, and so on and so forth, and get the code out of them before anybody gave anybody any money. So that was interesting, and no money did change hands, but normally that would be the extortion plot. So, and does
that involve QuickTime at all?
No, QuickTime is separate. So repeating what we talked about a little bit last week, if you have a Windows machine, which a lot of folks out there do, and you have family that has a Windows machine, anybody who's running a Windows-based operating system, which you do, tell them to remove QuickTime immediately. Get off this call immediately. Call all of your friends and neighbors and your family and tell them, if you got a Windows machine in the house, if they know what that means, remove QuickTime. Okay.
Will it run MP4 files?
What? Something else?
Will something else run MP4s?
Yeah, I prefer VideoLAN or VLAN. It looks like a little cone. There's a GOM player that Joe was talking about. QuickTime is just a video player and audio player, I think,
I've been delivering
from Apple, but it's not being supported for Windows anymore.
Yep.
By Apple. They're supporting it on their own platforms, but not on Windows. So Windows machine, QuickTime, get rid of QuickTime. You go to add, remove programs on the old stuff, or programs and features, get it out of there. It takes less than a minute. Okay.
Just I deliver MP4s to my clients.
Yeah. There's a lot of MP4 players out there, and, people have to be aware that where you're going to get free players, any kind of free anything is trouble on the internet usually. So people have to really you got to guide them. VideoLAN's been around a long time. It's got codecs for all kinds of stuff that will play videos and audio from FLACs to everything else, right back to MP3s and 4s and so forth. Okay. There it is, VideoLAN. Thank you, Sub Bob, putting that in there. And
never use QuickTime.
Good for you, Michael. Okay, so that's that. Let's bring Sub Bob in here. This is Bob King. We've had him on the show before. There's his best picture in his best shirt. Don't laugh. What is that? Bob, the seat is unlocked, awaiting your... Look, there he is.
Hello.
Bob.
Hello. How are you doing?
I can hear you fine, Bob.
Okay,
so
great.
We're just going to dive right in. Bob, fill us in on what you got for us today. What do you want to do first?
I'll go ahead and cover the messenger ones first. And this is, I learned this on Friday morning. And
do you want to share your screen? Because we're going to need a slide, right?
So,
all right, Bruce, you want to?
Sure.
Want to pop out for us? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Super.
This will make it easier. Look at that screen up there.
Okay. So I learned this on Friday morning in the SM Examiner lab with Michael Stelzner, Joel Comm, and a few others. And that is that now there's a standalone app, browser, if you will, for Messenger. So you don't have to have Facebook window open. It looks kind of like, here I am, my chat with Cliff, and you can see who you've chatted with over here. So it's full screen. It's not this little small window that pops up over top of Facebook. And like I said, I was, if somebody, I can go in here and click on edit nickname here, and I can change Cliff to Payne and whatever, and save it to that, and it changes the nickname. It shows up there, and see, it says PETA. Okay. But it's useful. It's just right here, and you get the notifications, and so it's just messenger.com. The other thing that's kind of interesting, though, is you can go to this.
What is this?
I'm putting it in right now. M.me. Sorry, you can
go there. It's a virus.
No, but m.me/username, and that is a shortcut to send someone a message. It'll take you right to Messenger with that person's user ID there. So
okay, everybody spam that.
Yeah, go ahead, spam it. That's all right.
Send whatever.
Or put
PayPal.
Or you could go https://m.me/
I can put up my direct PayPal thing. People could just send money to that.
But it's just
what is it? That's not my thing.
What's that?
That's not my code?
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Yeah. I didn't even know that.
I looked it up.
How do you know that? And I don't know that. See, this is how good. This is why I have a show and I bring people on, because
if I click on this
know
right
what
now,
I need to know.
If I open that link in a new window, it's going to take me right over there, and which I just did, and eventually I'll be there, and I'll be at Cliff's thing.
Well,
yeah.
Well, there's my only thing I've done on Facebook. It's my dog, and I turned into Darth Vader halfway through that. That's funny.
So anyway, there's not a whole. I mean, the big thing is for me, I really like being able to have Messenger open like that, and I don't have to have the Facebook open, and that way I can use it for communication and everything. And if you're down here, right here, there's the phone and there's things. So right here, I can click on that, and I'm, all right, Cliff's not available right now, but if he was available, I could video call him. So I'll, hey Ashley, look out, incoming call. So,
wow,
so you can do a video call right from within Messenger. Right there, I'm calling Ashley, who's up there on the toolbar. I'm not going to complete the call, but it's pretty darn handy. So you can.
Okay, are we going too fast for anybody in the chat? You guys good? Because Bob is just like
rocket speed.
Boom.
Sorry.
So that's why they had him like in the aft area of the sub.
No, I drove up front, but anyway.
You can't see from a sub. You got to be in the middle to see.
Okay.
No windows in the sub.
So I'll recap. Messenger.com, m.me/username for people to contact you. And then you can go and have a chat app. You can call people either by phone or by video. And if I come back here to Cliff's, if you come over here, you can even click show, and it'll show any pictures that you've shared with them. I was just setting up for today's show, so I shared some stuff in the chat to show how it worked. All right, so that's it. So that's the Messenger and the m.me. And yes, Melissa, I understand some people just prefer to use it right in Facebook. I don't. I like the full screen version of it, and because I have four monitors here, I'm able to have Messenger just on one if I want. All right. Now,
cool.
The other one is I just found this last week, and I found myself copying and changing over the same documents over and over. And when I did that, I was going through and editing everything. There's got to be a better way, because I always tell people.
We got to slow down, Bob.
Oh, sure,
all right,
sure.
So we want to make sure everybody's cool on the Messenger thing. You guys, and we were not here to teach you how to use it. We want to tell you that these are things that you can try out, and I just want to be respectful, because Bob, you're just on fire, man. When you get excited about this tech stuff, it's like, woo! I'm driving a submarine again. Okay, so is everybody cool over there to side chat? Because it's all right. Thank you, Joe.
Right.
All right. So now we're moving on to Google Docs. Okay.
Right.
We talked about this a little bit. And so what Bob showed me here is a way to do what, Bob?
Okay.
Tell us what we're doing
so
first.
We are, say you have a weekly show you're doing. And in this case, I've just say it's Tech Tips with Sub Bob, and the topic changes weekly. And your guest changes weekly. And maybe the reasons I'm teaching it. Like right now, I'm teaching Google Documents. So there's 3 benefits. So this is just a made up format for a show that I'm going to be talking about a tool. I'm going to have a guest, and that tool, I'm always going to be talking about 3 benefits of that tool.
Great.
So this is just totally for fun, right? Well, once you install this add-on called Doc Variables, you come up here and you click on Open Doc Variables. And it scans and it finds these variables, which are just in the format of $ open brace, topic, close brace.
Right. So whatever that thing is, we'll show it in the right here. The variables will show up once you set this up.
And JS Google Docs, feel free to go back to 2009 to my very first lesson I ever did on the internet. You'll find it. Just Google.
Google Docs.
So
that'll keep you busy.
I'm going to say the topic is Doc Variables. The guest is Cliff. The benefit 1 is reusability.
This is great. This is the way you should do things, Bob.
Benefit 2 is save time, and the benefit 3 is demonstration, whatever.
Excellent.
I have checked here, apply variables in a new document, and notice that I also have one of the variables right up here in the file name. So when I apply these variables.
Okay, cool. Here it goes, magic. Look at that. We have a mind-blown.
So it says it's created a new document called Tech Tips with Sub Bob Doc Variables. And when I opened that up, it replaced, it's just, it's a fine place. It replaced every variable with what I had typed in. And now I can go up here and share this with someone. I can type into it. But what I didn't have to do is go in and make a copy and retype over everything.
That's handy. Now, what Bob showed me, so people think, okay, I don't do a show, I don't need this. Anything you do a repeat. If you're doing interviews with people, and that's what Bob was showing me. That's a great application where you're going to be talking with people or interviewing them or whatever, and you'd put in their name, and so you'd have the document for your records as you're having an interview or taking information in from somebody, which we all should be doing because we're all learning different things, and so you'd fill it in with name, and then do you have that document to show? Because that's a really good.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
It's a great real life application, and I was like, I need to have that, and he gave it to me. That's what we do here. That's what Bob does. Good guy.
Yes. And yes, JS, I don't know, should I feed the trolls or not? This is better than find and replace, because with find and replace, you're working for the computer. You're doing the find and replacing. And with a template, it's reusable, and you don't have to copy the document yourself. But JS, I'd race you any day with find and replace with some of the systems that I have built.
There you go. Find and replace. This guy's seriously clapping for you over there, Bob.
So we're coming up here. I'm looking. It's going to take a second for my drive to load, but we'll get that meeting one. So as this is coming up, I'll explain how I use this. I use Calendly, which is a scheduling tool for people to arrange meetings with me. And when they arrange those meetings, I want to know what they're contacting me for. So I ask them 3 questions. What is the meeting about? What's the purpose? And that's a required question. What are their objectives of the meeting? So we know the outcome. And if they have any URLs they want me to look at. And you can see I have all these meetings in here that have been derived from this one.
That's a template.
And it's a template. And yeah, Microsoft Word has
interrupt,
this.
Bob. I noticed Thought Spray is what? That's the name of your organization there? Thought Spray?
Yes.
That is applicable. It works.
Yeah. And I forget, is it Melissa Cyber? I got to look here. No, Chris. Chris has said Microsoft Word has had it. Yes, Chris, Microsoft Word has had this template-like thing too, but this is in the cloud, and people don't have to have Word to use it. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that have this. You can do this with WordPress as well. It's just I found that you can do it with Google Documents. So, and mine, when I'm doing this initial meeting between myself and whoever the client is. And then I have an agenda where I have my points, their points, what they want to talk about. There's a place to put their notes. I have my online presence already in there, and then they can put in their online presence. So they set up the meeting with me on Calendly. I come over here to Google Drive. I go to the add-ons, and this particular one only has one variable.
One variable, ladies and gentlemen.
When it comes up,
Just one.
And I put the client's name in there, then I share it with them. And what this allows is, actually I have more than one variable in there. I forgot about this. So I'm going to put, I'll put JS in here. And the time, I'm going to teach JS how to use this 3 hours at it's JS, $250 an hour.
Afford it.
The objective is to train him.
Yeah, how to use spring onions properly.
All right. And as I'm applying those variables, now that one's created. And the reason I put those other ones in there, I was doing a demonstration for someone and making the point that this is not just for, you can use this for more than meetings. You could use this if you had a consultation agreement. And you could go in there and put right there, there's the 3 hours at the $250 an hour in order to train him. So if you have any kind of template, you could use those variables and set up a consulting agreement, a service agreement, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
Melissa asked, if I have anything that puts data into a spreadsheet, do I have to open the individual document every time? So this literally is Tuesday. Thursday, it'll be a week since I've discovered these variables. So this is what I've accomplished in just a few days. I've not looked at integrating spreadsheets yet. I've not looked at doing any Google scripting, although I can do that. I'm just using it as is out of the box right now.
Out of the box. Totally out of the box on the cloud. So here's the thing. This is also, as Bob was just pointing out, really good for doing proposals. So this is how we monetize. We actually make it more efficient for us to actually put out proposals because everything can be kind of templated and they just fill in their names and then the specifics about the person or business or whatever you're trying to help in your proposal. So that's cool. This is cool stuff. Any final questions for Bob before he exits the seat? Because we certainly want to make sure he's here when he wants to talk to you.
I just added quote here as a heading one, and this is just one more thing. This has nothing to do with the variables, but you can do tables of contents in Google Docs. So it just added quote there.
Okay.
And these are links. So as this document gets longer, you can click on one of these and it will take you. So it's just like an internal hyperlink on a website.
Yeah, that's super. Now, what about now? How did you do the quote thing, and why are the purpose and objectives under the quote?
Oh, because I just threw this in here in the heading letter difference. That's heading 1, and that's a heading 2.
Okay, so that's how they end up inside. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then how did you get it to show up above? Just putting it in there, it recognizes it because it's a new heading?
You insert table of contents to get it there initially.
Okay.
And then just like you would do in Word, when something changes, you update the table of contents.
A little squirrely whirly thing there. Cool. Yeah.
All right.
So Cindy's getting it on a third show. So there you go. So you guys got something to work with. Confused. All right. You guys. Oh my gosh. All right. If you don't need it, you don't need it. We're just trying to help out make things more efficient and effective for you guys to do things over. If you do things repetitively, which a lot of us do in our businesses and whatnot, it's a good thing to learn. And it's not hard. It's just replacing things that you're going to replace all the time and not have to retype it or because what happens is it's embarrassing if you get the wrong person's name in there later and you forget to change one of them, especially if you're doing any kind of documents to that people are signing and whatnot. All right, Bob, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. And as Cliff said, we weren't here to teach this. This is awareness to let you people know that it's there, so you can then come on my calendar and pay me to teach it to you.
There you go. That's why he's here. Get him out of the seat. He already kicked himself out. Wise guy.
Yep. Which is why you're not supposed to cut and paste contracts. Is because sometimes you'll leave somebody else's name in a new contract.
Thank you very much.
I think that was Orson Welles at one point.
Was that Orson Welles in there, Joe?
Not that one. Not the last one. The previous.
No.
Well, there's Orson.
Oh,
I think that was
people
from
that don't
Citizen
know, Orson
Kane.
Welles. There you go. Citizen King.
Mhm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it through the sub Bob portion of our show, and we're still afloat. That's a good thing. Cowabunga is right. Ooh, I had to take a breath. Yeah, we do. The thought spray is more like fire hose sub Bob sometimes. So we gotta bring him back a little bit, center him, and slow him down. And his brain just operates so fast. But thank you, Bob King, for you're always helpful. And JS, I'm sorry if your head spun off there a little bit.
So check this out. I'm going to send you guys to FB Live right now. My FB Live.
Okay.
Wait, I got to do yes.
How are we going to get there? Are you going to transport us? Is that a transporter you have in your hand?
Live. I'm going live. 3, 2, 1. And now, if you were to go to Facebook, to my page, you would actually see.
You know, we're not friends, JS. You know that, right?
It doesn't matter. Why aren't we Facebook friends?
We might be. I just I joke. There's thousands of people that love me, and I don't love them back.
Now, you'll see this blab is actually in Facebook Live, is it not?
You stuck us in Facebook Live. Everybody wave to Facebook Live watchers.
And how many people we got on Facebook
Live watchers? And there's probably how many people are watching over there? Can you?
I don't know. I should go over there, I guess, and take a look, huh?
If we all go over there, he'll have like 20.
Let's see.
Let's forget about this blab thing.
Let's
okay, here's Joe. Joe's got it. What are we doing?
Now I'm sending this over. That's not
cool.
Live. How many people are watching that? Look at that. Okay, they're seeing other stuff. 3 viewers.
Don't let them go.
There's
don't
3
leave.
Viewers. 3 viewers. Hey, the longer we're on there and providing, look at that. Oh, you see it. You're seeing it in the little thing there.
Wow. Yeah, Michael, I always round up.
There we are. There's me waving about 8 seconds ago. Cool.
Let's see.
We are embedded in Facebook. We are now famous. At least 3 of us.
That's but it's an interesting thing. The more you do this kind of stuff, the more pissed off your Facebook friends get. But Facebook itself really likes it.
They love it.
Well, if you keep your page separate from your personal profile,
I am one and the same. I am one and the same. I don't believe in business pages on Facebook. Then again, I don't believe in much about social media. But my Facebook name is J.S. Gilbert.
Arr, he says. It's like a curmudgeon-y old pirate, that JS guy.
Go to facebook.com/JS Gilbert.
Oh, man. Some serious face.
That's a great look. That is a good look. Now, for those of you, look at that. See, I was failing. This is look at how I'm doing it.
How are you doing it?
I'm just holding my
iPad.
Oh,
dear. Who are you talking to? Because we're not on Facebook. We're on Blab.
It's a very low-tech method of doing this. Now, tomorrow night on whatever moronic
squirrel something.
But don't even watch the show tomorrow because I'm not going to be on it. Even though Colin and John will be giving away Bitcoins.
I heard they're giving away 10 Bitcoins to one lucky winner who takes JS's spot in the seat. I know it won't be me. Was that a cuckoo? Cuckoo.
I'd heckle you, but I don't criticize low-tech methods. You know, here's the thing.
This could be
when the end of the world comes, I am the guy who has frozen Italian beef, and that you're going to want beer, and you're going to want to be with me. Low-tech methods.
Oh yeah!
So we can start bribing people. Here we can bribe people with $10 trillion.
There you go.
$10 trillion.
Exactly. So
7 views,
which isn't worth the papers printed on.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough to be on Joel Comm's live video revolution this evening, right before this show. He was doing a good 2 hours of a widespread. You think Sub Bob is good. This stuff is just all about live streaming, and I actually I signed up for this course, and I'm learning more stuff here than we could learn on our own, or even having Sub Bob living over here in the next room. You can
the thing for like $295. Is that
$87? No, it's only $267 or something like that. It's in fact, here's a shortcut for you guys. I just dug it out. That is the link you want to go to. Check it out, and I think it's phenomenal. I've told Joel I'm going to give him a 15-second testimonial, because in the 2 weeks he's done it. Last week he was out, I think, because of the social media marketing world. But the week before, I learned more stuff about Snapchat. I didn't want to know that at all, but it was helpful. And then I put out a Snapchat, which everybody saw, that I didn't want to put out. So there you go. While I'm actually on doing other things, and I'm actually doing what he's telling me to do. And he said to do it, and he didn't bother saying, by the way, it goes live right away. So that was kind of fun. It was going into my story. So that was the only story I
last week. Was it 2 weeks ago?
No, it was 2 weeks ago. Did that, yeah.
So, and then since you're talking about Messenger, Google Docs and stuff, I have it on very good authority that Facebook is now working on a site that is within Facebook that's designed for Facebook Live that will let you send out produced stuff. So apparently they will be making it easier, I guess, for you to drop in certain content and things like that. At the very least, it's going to have Snapchatty type features where you could have like dog ears and put text on it and things like that. But it may be that they actually will allow you to repurpose video and so on and so forth easier than having to use, say, Wirecast. But tomorrow night, John is going to broadcast the Nerd Word out, not using the stupid iPad method that I've discovered, but he's going to do it using Wirecast and I think a series of 5 computers.
Really?
Something like that.
So what's the Nerd World show tomorrow? We always support our friends at Nerd World.
It's on cryptocurrency, and I'm going to be, unfortunately, at a creative directors meeting in the city where I'll be eating tapas. And,
tapas, okay, like finger foods, but
tapas and Diet Coke. That's my schedule.
Wow, sounds nutritious or Nutrilicious. Or delicious.
Stream video for more than just your smartphone. The live API lets you build video streams that mix multiple.
Did you eat this afternoon, JS, at all?
What?
Did you eat this afternoon? You seem like you need to have more caloric intake right now.
I think yes, I probably do have low blood sugar at the moment. Yeah.
You're not on target right now. Don't bother reading that, because we're going to pin that for people. In fact, they can just click on that Twitter feed up there that Bob put up, and that will give you all of that stuff about APIs and what you can do. And we don't want to put everybody back to sleep again.
Probably. Right, why did Bob leave? He should be sitting here and there.
Because you came in and he did his little mini plug and ran like a little scared kitten.
Bob, why don't you come back in here and talk about this stuff? Because and try and do it in a way that maybe people.
He kicked him out. Bob, that was. You'd never kick JS out of my bleb, pal.
Well, don't call a co-host a scared kitten.
Oh, that took care of the co-hosting problem. Yikes. JS, I believe your co-host.
I said everything I had to say. I was done.
You came in to kick him out These guys are worse than me. If you guys see me in a non-show blab, this is like click, 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 click.
Yeah, give everybody host powers and see what happens.
No, that's all right. JS has got a thick skin and flexible and a lot of hair in his back.
It's true. It's really true.
But he needs caloric intake. All right, JS. So we've removed Powers from the Bob King. I told you he belongs in the back of the sub. Where the windows are.
Well, I don't understand. He's typing all this really a good value.
He's excited. He gets excited when people listen.
Are the 5 viewers now on Facebook Live? Although I have to tell you, on these things, I've been getting 200-300 people watching the I guess the replays. I don't know what you would call it on Facebook Live. So
replays.
So Raymond is asking about cryptocurrency. Raymond, are you an invited guest at all on tomorrow's show with Nerd World, or are you just going to sit in the side and sit on your hands?
No, but his good friend Eric Grill is an invited guest on the show.
Eric Grill. Okay.
Yeah.
So Eric is
I've
seen Eric around. He's the he's not the OneCoin guy. He's the Bitcoin guy. Woo.
The Bitcoin guy, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Grill. Yeah. Okay. We don't want to be getting on the grill with Grill. Look at that.
Oh.
This thing is falling asleep. JS.
There will be, oh my gosh. Yeah, there will be no discussion of OneCoin tomorrow. They will be talking about, and I still have to prepare my rant, which will be a pre-recorded rant for tomorrow on cryptocurrency. Right. I think.
Well, get some like pasta or something in your system first.
No, I don't carbo load. It's I'm a diabetic. I don't carbo.
All right, we don't want to do that then.
It's I have some hot dogs defrosting right
meat.
now.
Meat would be good. Meat. Okay,
I've got some carrots there for you.
A good standby. Hot dogs and mini carrots.
So it's 2 hours to the top. 2 minutes to the top of the hour.
Yeah, so you got to leave the seat.
Okay, well, I didn't know.
See, he brings it up and then he doesn't want to go. Oh, golly. Yeah, that's a good one there. So thank you. That was all good stuff. Oh, man. So let's talk briefly about security and safety. It's a good way to end the show. Don't believe anything you see on the internet or you read or you hear now or, see in video. Don't believe it's actually happening just because it's on video. It still could be manufactured. Right, Bruce? You can make all kinds of people do all kinds of things with video, After Effects, and so forth. So even if you see it, don't believe it, especially if it's on the internet or interwebs. And also, if somebody calls you up pretending or saying they're from Microsoft and that you've got big problems on your computer, usually in an Indian voice. I won't do my Indian voice here, but it's pretty it's scary. They say, "Oh, let us in," and then you let them in. Hey, Joel, we were just talking.
Especially if you're running all Macs in your house and Microsoft calls you.
Right. And they say, do you have a Windows machine? No. Do you have a Mac machine? Well, there's a problem there too. So you don't want to believe people calling you on the phone. They've reverted back to that. They scare people young and old into letting them into their computer. Not good thing. So Joel, you've got a show coming on in like a minute, right? You're going there. And Joel Comm's going to kick in. He's got a lot of people over there as well. We're going to do an after show here a little bit. There's his thing. Drop a link. That's okay. By the way, Joel, I was on your thing today on your live video revolution. I was singing your praises and actually sharing this link right here because that's where people need to spend their money because they're going to get more out of Joel Comm than they could get out of me talking forever because he knows way more than all of us about all of this stuff and he's ahead of the game again in social media. We'll see you, Joel. Thank you for popping in and supporting the
and
show.
I'm sure, have you heard the news about Vincenzo and Amy when they went to New York? Hung out with some guy.
Amy, New York, Vincenzo sounds...
Yeah, something like Gary something.
Indiana?
No, Gary V.
Oh, Victor. What's his name?
Yep.
Vaynerchuk.
So Vincenzo streamed that live on Facebook and then he released it as a podcast. So I'm sure Joel's going to hear about that during his show, during Blab Talk Live.
There's a lot of people signed up for that show right after this. So if you don't want to join our after show, I can understand. You're just waking up from this one. You may want to get into something. There's a little more going on. So last thing is a really quick story. What happened to one of my clients? She's very smart. She actually put together the Susan G. Komen Foundation run, whatever. So she took a call from one of these guys on Friday. And she, even though she's one of my clients, she just got sucked into the guy saying, "Oh, you need to get into I work for Microsoft and I'm in the." So he got into her machine and put a code, a lock, a SAM code on that thing, which is very easy for them to do. First time I've seen him do this. I've seen him do other heinous things, but and so you cannot. It's not in the BIOS and it's not in the operating system. It's in purgatory right between those two, and it locks your machine without that code. So I said, look, we're not going to do anything about this. I can't fix this, even though we tried to do other things. we actually had to wait. I called him on Tuesday morning and said, "Hi, I'm pretended to be your husband. Locked down on my machine since Friday." And of course, the name's Mark D'Souza. Really wasn't his name. Oh, this is Mark D'Souza. You're right. My name's Santa Claus. So anyway, I'm there, and I said, "Well, look." He says, "Well, you got to pay us." I said, "What is this, like extortion or ransom? What is this?" "Oh, no, we're just protecting you. We don't want to open that back up unless you're already in there." I said, "No, I think we need to give me the code so I can get in and get a hold of my credit card information so I can pay you." Not. So anyway, he did give me the code. He tried a couple, and lo and behold, I hung up the phone. And he called me back 4 times in 3 minutes trying to get me back because I gave him my cell phone. And then he disappeared. Very strange numbers popping up on that screen, I'll tell you. We tried from 3 different numbers. Very, very weird names. So that was that. I rused the rusers and got back the code, and we rebuilt her machine, and she's back in business again. Yep. But still cost her a bunch of money with me to go back and rebuild the OS because they did some other damage in there. So never let anybody in your machine.
And back up often.
Never, ever. Back up and never let people in your machine. That's it. I use Carbonite since 2005. I'm a reseller of that. I can tell you guys all about that anytime you want. If you guys want to talk to me about staying safe in the digital world or any of that stuff, that's what I've been doing all my life, but for the last 12 years. So that's all I do in the background. But that's what we're about. Thank you, Joe, for being here today. Great job in the producer seat. And there he is again, our man, Joe Burke. And PopX Cast has moved to Sundays. Drop a link. There it is up above. Sunday, PopX Cast, a great show. And he's got co-founder of the Blowman Group. There it is. Thank you, Joe, for putting that up there. And Joe puts together a great show. I can't say enough. It's probably, in my opinion, it's the best produced show on Blab, without a doubt. So if you guys want to see it, and he podcasted, puts it out on iTunes, it's phenomenal. Even if you missed a show, make sure you subscribe to it because then you can watch it later on and then figure it out. But get over to, there's a way, he'll explain in his show of how to share that out and help people or help him get it out there on the iTunes and give him some stars and whatever they got hearts over there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. Joe, you can cue in some music for us on the outtake. Here we go. We're going on the highway. Bruce, a pleasure having you here. Thank you again for being here. And the Und is, again, right between us there. Point to the Und down. I think that's, I'm pointing in the right direction. No. Yes, right there. So that's the Und. I am Cliff Bodenweiser. He is Bruce Himmelblau. And we are out of here. Joe, thank you again so much.
Bye-bye.
There it is.
Take it on.